continues to scold her, so Beth snaps and calls Norman out for believing Harry over her and reminds him Norman never told them what he did inside the sphere. When Norman asks her if she also entered the sphere, Beth just leaves the room. Afterward, Norman picks up Harry's book from the ground, but when he looks up he sees Harry still reading the same book. Panicking, he opens the cupboards and finds more copies of the book, realizing Beth had been right. Norman goes to the computer and asks Jerry what's inside the sphere, but the response again asks him to stop calling him Jerry. Desperate for answers, Norman reviews the code and realizes Ted mixed some letters in his decoding. It turns out the entity's name is actually Harry. Meanwhile, Beth leaves the habitat and sets up some explosives. When she comes back, Norman tells her that the entity is Harry, who is manifesting the strange creatures around them. He also asks her to read page 87 of the book, which talks about a monster with incredibly long tentacles. The rest of the book is empty. Since Harry hates squid, he was afraid to keep reading the book, and after going to the sphere he has the power to manifest those thoughts. The duo agrees they need to put Harry into a deep sleep to stop the manifestations, so they search the ship's medical supplies to find a sedative. Then they sneak into the room and Norman jumps on Harry to hold him down while Beth gives him the injection, causing Harry to fall unconscious. Later a message arrives from the surface informing them the weather is better so they can return to the surface in 6 hours. Norman goes to a flooded bathroom to brush his teeth and a snake in the water uses the chance to go up his pants. When Norman screams, Beth rushes to the bathroom and grabs the creature, recognizing it as the most poisonous snake in the world which shouldn't be underwater. Afterward, Beth tells Norman to meet her at the lab, but when he arrives, she locks him inside. She explains he's the one manifesting the snakes, so she wants him to get a sedative injection too. Norman doesn't believe it, so Beth keeps mentioning examples. Harry is asleep so the snake couldn't come from him, and the jellyfish are Norman's fear just like the squid had been Harry's. Since Norman refuses to cooperate, Beth decides to take the oxygen from the room and the lab starts flooding. Still stubborn, Norman dives in to get a canister of oxygen and then escapes through a hatch. While Norman swims outside the habitat, Beth checks the computer and finds the videos of